Hi,
Hi.
everybody. Woohoo!
Hello. Happy Friday.
Hey,
I
happy
have
Friday. How are you
Dr.
doing, Sheila?
Whimsy.
Good. Sheila, good to see you here on this Friday. Hope you had a great week.
It's been a busy one, let me tell you. I've had it. I've had a lot of stuff going on. I mean, just this morning, Whimsy, I
Wow.
got up. I got off at midnight, went to bed. I get up at 6 o'clock. My body just does that to me. I don't know why. And then
Oh,
I watered the lawn, fed the dogs, got the inspectors here. I'm getting a new roof, cleaned the house, did all of my laundry, put it, you know what I mean? It's just, that's how my life goes. And then I'll just to get here,
but here
just
is
to get
such
here.
a beautiful place. And before we get started, as the beautiful Sheila
Please do.
gets us nice and organized, I would love to give gratitude to everybody who's been kind enough to join us here on the final episode. Yes, play the world's smallest violin, the final episode of the remote view for season 1. We will be going on a summer hiatus, but we'll be back for season 2 in September, and it will be a lot better. Everything's going to be looking so much better as we learn this whole technical challenge called YouTube. But before we get started, I want to give a shout out to Judy Ariolano. Hello, hello. Katie Moonchild World, welcome, welcome. Welcome to Lynn Raymond. Ron Unconditional Love Tarot is here, as is Donna Newhouse, Linda Bishop, Evan Chandler, Agent 888, Susie Z, SWFL, Sunny Days, Connie Brown, Judy, Tammy Walker. We'll keep saying hi to everybody as we go along. And with that, I give the microphone back to you, Sheila. So, what about the weather? Let's talk about it.
What about the weather? The weather is hot. We are
Yes.
getting some early on heat waves going through the United States, and I'm watching a lot of my friends get on Facebook, and they're like, "It's so hot," and they're posting all the pictures of 107 and 110, and it's really interesting how early and how fast the heat is coming this year. So, what is it like with you on your side? Mine's in the middle, so in the middle we're kind of roasting.
It's too hot. I was with my sister. I think it was last week in Salem, and we had a family get together. It was just broiling. Today it's broiling. I actually moved some of the plants into the house that I have in pots because some of them just can't stand heat like this. You can really see the ecosystem changing. And
Yes.
I think that it's important for people to really take care of themselves. Now, you had something about the power grid in Texas. Can you talk a little bit about what you had found out?
Yes, I was actually TikToking last night, and
Oh,
I
fun.
going through, and there was this lady that came on, and she was talking about the grid and the things in Texas. Now, this is the story is about around 2013, I guess, around abouts there was this new company that came on, and this new company wanted people to come to them. So what they said was, "Hey, if you come to us, we'll give you this free Honeywell Wi-Fi thermostat, which is expensive and really nice thermostat that I think Home Depot sells." And so what they did was, "Come to us, we'll give you this new thermostat." Well, in the midst of all of that and the fine print, after they signed on to them and agreed to everything and got the Honeywell put into their home, the fine print says that if the electrical grid has a crisis, like goes down, whatever it's doing right now, we have the permission to go into your home and control the temperature in your home. Now, a lot of these people,
Oh my God.
like anybody else, they like, I just like the brand new shiny thing, and this is a new company, and they don't read the fine print. So there's a lot of people in Texas right now, today, who are their temperature in their home is being controlled. So most people like it at 70, but they're controlling it and putting it at 85. Nobody can go below 85. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? And then a lot of people that didn't go with that new company stayed with the old company, but the grid is not supporting that, and so it's crashing. So it's like they can't heat your home in the winter, and we can't cool your home in the summertime. What is going on? So I just can't imagine being controlled. Somebody controlling my thermostat in the temperature in my own home because you guys won't upgrade your system and your grid. And you can't sustain it. I just can't imagine. But that's what's going on in Texas right now.
Yeah, and I would just say if you don't have to be out in the middle of it, please don't go out in the middle of it. There are a lot of people, they want to be tough guys and tough girls, and they go out and they hike, and they also bring their animals, which I think is just not a good idea. And a lot of hikers have collapsed from heat exhaustion in the California area, especially. It's a problem.
Yeah, here in Colorado, everybody gets up literally at dawn, and then they go do the hiking way before it gets too hot. So we have Garden of the Gods here, and we have red rocks that everybody is just packed in there because everybody's trying to get in and out before it gets too hot. So
yeah, and there are a lot of things that you can do if you are afraid that you are undergoing. If you are getting overheated or you're concerned about heat stroke, always try and get out of the heat. Don't spend a lot of time in the heat. If you have a basement, you may want to also set up, maybe sleep in the basement or sleep lower underground because heat tends to rise. So just like other animals, if you can get, they'll go into a cave or something like that to seek coolness. Also, you can, even cold towels, if you don't have ice, you can't really use it to put it on your head. But I just really hope everyone's staying hydrated. Drink plenty of water also. And
I just looked at the temperatures for Amarillo, Texas. It's 97 degrees. For Dallas, it's 93, which is bizarre. But Phoenix is 111.
Wow. So
that's a bit much.
Yeah. So by 2-3 p.m. when it peaks, that's really pretty bad. So we just pray for everybody that's in the areas, the hot zones, and just please take care of yourselves. And yeah.
Absolutely. And I just wanted to say thank you to Nasty Women Tarot. They gave us a chat. You ladies rock. Thank you.
Oh, we should have them on. We should have them on one of these days.
We should bring them on the show and have them as guests.
Yeah.
So do you have any hot topics before we get to?
Well, here's the thing. I forgive me for laughing my dang head off, but I don't know if anybody has been reading some of the comments by Trump supporters the last 24 hours. I'm sorry.
Oh, gosh.
I got a grin on my face. The Affordable Care Act has passed in the Supreme Court with dissents from Thomas and Gorsuch. Amy Coney Barrett and Kavanaugh voted to uphold the ACA, as did Roberts. Surprised? Anybody surprised by that?
Well, the thing about her,
their dream ticket. They said she was going to be their dream ticket. They put her there specifically to do one thing, and they admitted to it. Little girl, you're there to do one thing and one thing only, and that is give us GOP what we want. You work for us. Get rid of the ACA. And she said, no, I actually work for the Constitution and the American people, and this is not.
Absolutely. Thank you, Trisha, for that donation. Thank you. I know. Well, they had her there for two reasons. They wanted her to overturn the election.
Yeah, she didn't do that either.
She didn't do that either. They shot that back out. So what did Trump say? Some people just didn't have enough guts to do the right thing. That's what he told.
She also handed his taxes over to the feds.
Yes, she did. She did hand the taxes over and also says, hey, yeah, you got to look at this. So she's already failed on everything that they wanted her there to do.
She's a very bad conservative as far as they're concerned. But the host, oh my God, they want her gone. They want her out. They're saying, what can you do? So I just thought that. You know why I laugh? I'll tell you why I'm laughing so much. Because she interned for, was it Justice Breyer? And wasn't he like the best friend of Ruth Bader Ginsburg?
Possibly. I don't know the connection, but you probably know the connection better than I do. I don't know.
Yeah. So she worked for the Supreme Court judge that was best friends of Ruth Bader Ginsburg, and he was such good friends of Ruth Bader Ginsburg that they would date together to go to the opera. That was her opera date. And so Amy,
well, she
grew up with Ruth Bader Ginsburg as one of her men. So I just think it's hysterical.
Yeah, so this is what's hysterical to me is we were all really worried about her getting in there. Nobody wanted her in there. We knew that she was a conservative. We knew what her things like, right? So we were all on the other side going, what are they doing?
Scalia, I'm sorry. Breyer is retiring. Scalia, I apologize.
Okay. So the other thing about that is that, like, the joke's on them. The joke is on them, right? Yeah. So it's almost like their puppet didn't do what they wanted her to do. So I just find that extremely hilarious.
Yeah, yeah. So the Affordable Care Act is here to stay, and that's really important because the main thing that I think a lot of Americans were concerned about was not being able to get insurance for if you had a pre-existing condition. So it was nice to see that was upheld. All right, so the other thing that we get to celebrate, where are the applause buttons when, Sheila has to get the applause. So Juneteenth, hello, is Freedom Day, federal holiday. That's not good enough, honey.
Oh, we need a better one? We have a round of applause. I don't know if that one. Oh,
yeah, there you go, people. Freedom. Now the whole world is still not free. We still, we got still work to do. But boy, isn't that wonderful that we can celebrate as a federal holiday? And what's cool is, speaking of nasty Tarot, nasty women Tarot. They are having a celebration for Juneteenth at tomorrow. Did you know about that? So let's talk about tomorrow, because something pretty special is going on tomorrow with. All
right. Well, women. You know what? I think maybe we can hear directly from the horse's mouth. What do you think?
Wait. It would be wonderful. It would be wonderful if we could meet these nasty Tarot ladies. I don't know.
Well, we have Lisa.
Tarot woman.
Thanks for having us on, ladies. We're so happy to be here. Thank you.
We're happy to have you here. And we're happy that you're doing.
You gagging?
We can't hear you.
We can't hear you, Sharon.
No, you said you wanted to hear from the horse's mouth.
Oh.
Sorry. My mic was muted.
That's okay. We're getting derailed. We diverge so easily.
We are right on time.
We love the diverge.
I'm looking at the time, 12:20. We're beautiful. So I got to ask you, ladies, since we're doing the hot topics, what do you think about the Affordable Care Act and the fact that the Republicans are now talking about wanting to kick Amy Coney Barrett out of?
Oh, I laughed so hard.
That's humor. That's pure humor. Yeah.
I can't stop laughing.
Oh, me too.
The Republicans are turning into a caricature of themselves, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
Every possible joke you can make about them, they're holding everything true. They're proving everything pretty much right on the stereotype that we encircle them with. So yeah, it's funny. Absolutely. It's all funny.
All right. Before we get into too much, we got to get them to introduce themselves. And then we'll get. Yeah. So let's have each one, and you guys get to pick which one to go ahead and take the 3 to 5 minutes. And please tell us a lot about yourself, how you guys got into it, and all of that good stuff. So go for it, ladies.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll go first in that we must explain Nasty Women Tarot, the name. We chose that name because Trump calls intelligent, powerful, independent women those nasty women. And Kamala Harris had all those T-shirts, I'm a nasty woman, that kind of thing. So that's why we chose that name. And we love it. It was the right name for us anyway, because we're kind of nasty.
We get nasty.
We're nasty. And
Oh
Whimsy.
my.
I was thinking of that song, like as I was doing the programming notes, and I was thinking, Purple Rain, nasty girl. Da-da-da. It's part of the
Oh,
Purple
don't make me
Rain
start singing.
soundtrack.
Don't bring up music.
Oh, she will. She'll sing.
This whole show will
She'll
go off
sing.
the rails if
Hang
you
on,
start.
hang on, one at a
listening to
time, one
music.
at a time.
But isn't that on the Purple Rain soundtrack, right? His girlfriend performs that, right?
Maybe. I'm not sure. I'm not quite sure. But
It's all slutty on the stage and sings "Nasty Girl," right? Isn't that right? Am I right about that?
I don't
Oh,
remember.
so.
I don't.
I've heard
I
of it.
remember
Yeah, for
Prince.
sure.
Yep.
Um,
All right.
did you have more to share, Sharon? About
Well, I was just going to say that for me and tarot, I started about 1.5 years ago. Bought myself a deck, and had my book, and I followed you guys. I followed the political readers, and Lena, Linda G, you guys, all the ones that we all follow. And I would throw cards, and I would practice. While you guys were doing your questions and see what I got. And then I took lessons from Lena Rodriguez.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was fun. I loved it. And then Lisa and I just met in October. We were in the chat, always in the chat for, I stumbled upon Freebird Tarot, Freebird Spirit Tarot, Debbie. And loved it there. Loved the chat. Loved their mediumship, and it was just incredible. And I met Lisa in that chat. And then there was Kathleen who said, "Hey, we need to get together and practice tarot." So we're 5 of us that got together, and we started to practice tarot. So that's how I met Lisa. But Lisa and I we hit it off right away. We're BFFs. We talk to each other every day, and and the reason we're so comfortable doing our channel is because we do so many video chats. Is what you're seeing is just a usual video chat between us. We're just crazy together, just crazy, bounce off each other.
Wonderful, wonderful.
And for me, last year, kind of right before COVID started, I had moved my mom in with me. I was her caregiver for a long time. And once the Coco hit, I was like, well, just stay with me, and we'll just do this. You just live with me. And I, after being able to work from home because of the virus and everything, I got into YouTube and started following all the channels, and I got really attracted to this community big time. So in the chat, I found so much support for me in dealing with the situation and my mother being ill and all that stuff. And they were actually kind of with me, supporting me from the moment I was taking care of her until she finally crossed over, that whole thing. So I kind of have a little special place in my heart for this whole community. And I feel the love, and I want to give the love. So my whole thing is I want to provide the same stuff that was provided for me. And Sharon was with me every step of the way for a lot of that too. And it's just really important to me. And throughout my life, I didn't pick up tarot cards. It wasn't like that. I've always been intuitive. I've always been a lucid dreamer. I just think that's like one of my superpowers. I'm all about that. But it wasn't until around August, September, October where I finally was like, oh, let me get some cards, see if I can. So I was watching the channels, watching all of you guys, throwing cards, matching them up, seeing, if I could get the hang of what was going on and how to do it. And I just started feeling really comfortable. And then that was when I, of course, with Sharon and our little group, we started talking on video chats, and it was very similar to what this is here. So it's a comfortable environment. It's just an extension, like Sharon said, of the video chats where we would throw cards and talk about topics and read on each other and stuff like that. And it's just been so much fun. It's such a good time and such a release. And I don't know. It's just a really great community, and I'm just really happy.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right. So I have a few questions. So do either one of you give readings, personal readings?
Not
Not yet. And not yet. Okay.
No. Haven't gotten that
So-
far
Well,
yet.
hold on. We gave one just a few days ago.
Well, I mean, yeah,
Like
just
We're
off,
doing
off the
informally.
record, we do readings. Yes, but
yeah,
we are.
yeah.
Yeah.
You're
See, that's what I was
entertainers.
wondering,
You're
like-
YouTube entertainers mostly, right? That's
Right.
most of your focus. Okay.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
And
I mean, we
also,
would love
so
to be
you-
able to do that.
I
but
read
yeah.
for friends. I read for friends.
Sure.
Yeah.
So Sharon is in Canada, correct?
Right. West Coast.
And Lisa is in the States. Is that correct?
I'm in
So
Kentucky.
yeah. So you guys are. I just wanted to kind of give graphic memory. And
Yeah,
you,
we've
what is
never
your-
met in person
No,
at all.
no. Oh, we will though. We will.
Oh, yeah, we will.
So,
It's
Whimsy and I are the same thing. Here and I have never met like
we
face to
become like
face.
best
but
friends. Like we started
Exactly.
talking, and Sheila was studying remote viewing. I did remote viewing. We became friends, and we have so much in common. It's shocking.
Yeah.
It's like
It
literally
is.
shocking. So it's interesting that Lisa is talking about coming from Kentucky because the first series of questions are all Kentucky. Horrible Mitch McConnell.
Yes.
Is it wrong of me to call Mitch McConnell horrible? So it looks like
You're being
got about
you're
20
being kind.
The Turtle Man. We're quite
Turtle
familiar
Man.
with the Turtle Man here. Yes.
Would everybody like to start blitzes now because we've got a ton of questions? And I'm
That's
sorry.
Absolutely.
Okay, so the main questions today, there are a lot of questions about the environment. We can Canada, woohoo! There's a ton of questions, but I think the first thing that people really want to do has to do with the obstruction that's taking place right now in Congress. As many people know, Mitch McConnell has vowed to filibuster any of these bills that are coming in. The bills that they're trying to push have to do with protecting voters' rights. I'd like to just see with this group what you feel about that situation. Of course, we have people like Cinema and Manchin. We don't even know what side they're on, but that's it really is freaking people out because if our vote means nothing, then what kind of it's the death of democracy. But I'd be curious what you all think about that, and then we can blitz on it if you like.
Well, coming from Canada, Canadians, we look at this whole situation, we just shake our head like, how did this even happen? Like we just, for example, our elections are very straightforward. There's a vote of no confidence. Either it's set election, but it can also be called when, let's say, the prime minister is held and they give a vote of no confidence, and then there's an election. And it used to be just 30 days of campaigning. It's now stretched to 60, but no, sorry, it was 60 days of campaigning. Provincially, it's 30, and it's done and dusted really quickly. And you have your, the results of your election. I can't believe your election process and all the campaigning and all that. It takes forever. Like you're always campaigning.
Well,
And
I'm in firm belief that I think Mitch got in there, and not so honestly.
He
Mitch
did
is not a popular guy here. I mean, now typically not. I live in Louisville. Louisville's
Well, I want to
the
know how he
most
did it
liberal
because-
of all of the state of
I
Kentucky.
don't know how he did it.
So we're in our own little world, kind of. We got our
Yeah.
own little microcosm of stuff. But
Yeah.
the eastern part of Kentucky, some of them do like Mitch, but a lot of people have kind of wanted to kick him to the curb. So it was quite a surprise when he managed to win. So I think there's a lot of underlying stuff there that Matt.
I don't get it.
I
I don't get it.
I mean, can't hear you, Whimsy.
Mike.
I'm sorry.
I'm glad you did it.
A Luddite here. The first question actually, and I keep putting this question on hold and I don't ask it, but I've been asked this question probably every week on the show. Somebody asks this question, and that is they want to know how Mitch McConnell got in, if there's going to be any investigation on corruption of stealing that election, and if we could throw cards on it.
Yes.
So like I
I'd love
said,
to
there's
throw
a lot
cards
of
on
questions
that.
about Mitch McConnell because people feel that he's the biggest threat to democracy, right?
Absolutely.
He's a hot mess.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Oh, yeah.
He's a hot mess. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You all want it? Are we throwing cards on that
Yeah,
now?
we're going to throw to find out if Mitch McConnell stole the election.
Okay.
Okay.
And of course, guests can go first. So Sharon or Lisa, if you guys have already laid your cards down, go for it.
Okay.
Lisa's a speedy one. I take a little bit to shuffle.
Speedy Gonzales. Exactly. I already feel it.
I mean, I
He knows
already.
how to- yeah, go for it.
Well, hang on here. All right.
I felt it right away.
Well, sure.
I couldn't believe he was elected.
Okay. You guys ready for this?
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
All right. Well, one of the first cards I threw was the World. And I think this is a case of just, he's got a lot of outside help. He's got a lot of influence all over. It's a big factor. And also I see this as the world watching him, because now I think with the turn of events and with the way things are evolving right now, there's a lot of light on him, and there's a lot of focus on exactly what happened with him winning that. I also got the Three of Materials. In this deck, it's the Three of Pentacles. And I got the Three of Emotions. In this deck, it's the Three of Cups. And both of these strike me initially as a collaborative effort. He didn't do this by himself, guys. He had some help, for sure. And I think both of these cards indicate that 100%. And then the last, well, I have a couple of cards, but I don't want to hog the whole thing here. But I got the Priestess, and I got the Page of Inspiration. And both of these, well, the Page of Inspiration is like the Page of Wands. And I think this just shows that there was a higher power that provided a lot of communication, to get that whole thing, that roadway opened up for him so that he could get it. So did he do it on his own? No, I don't think so. I do think he had a lot of help, and I think that help will be pointed out eventually.
Interesting.
Okay, so the first card I threw was the Eight of Cups. I think he knew he was going to lose. And so he got help. The emperor, he says, I can't lose this seat. I need help. So I think he probably got help from overseas as well. And, put out the message that he's got to win, or else the GOP is going to go down the drain. And this is my GOP card, the Ten of Cups. And, of course, it was win at all costs, the Five of Swords. He definitely cheated. And, of course, he had the support of the White House, of that guy. Will not mention his name. He definitely cheated.
It's so weird. The first feeling I had when I went into this Akashic field was I felt like, it's hard to explain. I saw the grid, I saw the voting grid, but I feel like the voting grid we saw has nothing to do with the votes. It's like they set up a fake voting grid, and it just feels to me when I go into this energy like the real votes aren't counted, and instead they have this fake. They've structured this fake voting grid. It looks almost like that, and then the real votes are over here, and so they always know they're going to win because I don't know how they did it, but it almost looks like everything was faked. And the numbers were faked, and you have this, it's almost like constructing this beautiful, perfect garden, and this is what you're going to see, and the actual votes themselves don't actually get tallied. It's very strange.
It's such an act of desperation. These guys and girls get in a position of power, and I think their desperation drives a lot of, this phony.
They get drunk with power.
That's going on. It's ridiculous. But I'm with you on that grid thing. I think that's very real. I think they did create
You know,
It just looks like such a pretty little garden. Like, of course,
Yeah.
with their pretty little Republican garden and Mitch McConnell with his pretty little garden friends, and this is going to be our reality, and it's always going to be like that. And of course,
yeah.
he
The
won.
nice,
Meanwhile,
nice
in the real world,
family. The nice
Yeah.
family.
it's strange.
Yeah. You know,
It is true.
the energy of the reading, the bottom of the deck, I didn't mention it, but I took a closer look at this deck. And I've never seen this before, but this guy looks like he's ready to shove this woman off the boat. I think that's what they did with the actual votes. And then they came in and she's holding the fake votes. That just hit me. So that they could get it to smooth, so Mitch could get to smoother waters. But right in the back there, it looks like he's about to push that woman off the boat.
Well, that sounds like desperation too.
Absolutely.
It's ridiculous.
Sheila, what did you get?
Wow. I did a full Celtic with the 11th and the 12th house cards. So the full Celtic, I got the 9 of Cups where he's sitting there, wishes fulfilled and satisfied. He wishes fulfilled, right? This is his election. This is what he wants. He wants his seat. But I also, it was reached by the Hangman, which is inverted, which is delayed, denial, and punish and stuff like that. So it gave me a really big thing is that he had to fake the funk in order to get what he needed to do that. So I kept on asking, how is he doing this? What's going on? How is it happening? And I got the full. The full is that people, I don't know, maybe Lisa can explain this. Are your ballots extremely hard to do?
No.
I mean, do they have like criteria? Like here in Colorado, you have to fill it in, exit out, your ballot's gone. If you don't mail it in at this, you don't sign this, it's gone. I mean, they have so many things. You tick, 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 or your ballot is.
I mean, yeah. With the mail-in votes, it's like you got to hit A, B, and C, circle your stuff
Okay, so
right,
this
sign
is what
the
they're
bottom,
doing.
all that stuff. Yeah.
So this is what they're doing. I'm not saying that there's a whole bunch of people in Kentucky that are not. He knows that.
Are you making a Kentucky joke?
I'm
we
trying
going
not to.
No, we're not doing this. I'm sorry.
No.
I'm standing up for my Kentucky peeps today on your show. We are not stupid. We
Get your
don't
whip.
have just
Get
one
your whip.
tooth. See, look.
Get your whip. Get your whip.
No, we're not doing this.
I'm just telling you what my cards just brought up.
Isn't that the whole point, Lisa? Is that
I don't have dirt on my floor. I have an actual floor.
We know.
I went to college, damn it.
I know.
Get your whip out,
I'm
girl.
just trying to tell you what my cards brought up because look what the card brought up.
I'm just messing with you. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm just doing.
It's like, what is going on? How are they doing this? You know what I mean? I'm serious. No, serious note here. Serious. I see your point. Yes, and because money came up next.
It is a problem. There are
lack
people
of
that
money.
do have. You know, it's hard to follow
That's all
instructions for a lot of people,
yeah.
for sure. Yeah, I totally agree with you on that. I'm just messing with you, but yes,
Okay,
absolutely.
I don't want to offend you. That's not my goal.
No. Sorry, sometimes I go off the rails. I'm so sorry. People that know the nasty know that this happens.
I'm just okay. So let me finish my read. Let me finish my card.
Yes.
All right. So the Queen of Wands, the person coming in and fixing and making sure it is tough, because like I said, we got the Fool, we got the money, the poor, and the money kind of comes together because delusion came from. That's how they did it. They threw delusion out there. So it's like it made it to, so if somebody is not understanding the process because they're hard at work at trying to make it tough for the process, because we also got the Four of Pentacles up there, like they holding on to all of the things, like all of the ballots that came in that were correct, but all of the ones that didn't, it worked because steady progress on that. It worked. And then we had the Two of Swords. They get to throw out those, and we get to keep these.
Right.
And then what you ask the question, is he going to be illuminated? Is he going to be found out? I got the sun and I got the tower. So I'm thinking that at some point in time, but I don't feel soon. I feel like if the Kentucky people start complaining about Mitch winning, and that's where it's going to start. Like everybody there has to start. I want an investigation. Right. I don't know, you know what I mean, to really get that done. So I just wanted to, what my card said, it wasn't like, oh gosh. I'm gonna stop
You're fine, honey. I swear you're fine. My humor can be dark sometimes.
Well, that actually was the second part of the question, because that was a two-part question. The second part was, are the feds going to do some kind of forensic on the states like Kentucky? And because people are scared, and there's a whole other bunch of questions about Manchin, et cetera, et cetera. But are the feds going to be able to find what the states are doing? Just any kind of investigation from Homeland Security or anybody? I mean, can we throw on that about Kentucky? Or are we just completely vulnerable?
Are we throwing it just on Kentucky or all the states?
It's up to you guys.
And, that's
I'll do Kentucky.
That's such a tangled web too, because the feds are going through their own thing right now. So
they have a lot on their plate.
Yeah, so it's almost too many layers to deal with there, because they're doing stuff within their own organization. So for them to be able to put a team together to
they fired hundreds of people. If you go to look, it's not. I mean, Rachel Maddow talks about it, but if you go to governmentjobs.org, I think it is, you can see just how many people got fired, because it's so many jobs for attorneys and for FBI agents and for security people. Washington, D.C. security people, because they had to fire them all. So it goes back to this terrifying idea that they were in every branch of our government. We don't even know who these people are. But I think why we're getting so many of these questions is because people really feel like if their vote doesn't count, what happened in Kentucky, that we haven't really. January 6th is the leading thing that Merrick Garland said he would be investigating, but it's more than just January 6th. It's a massive attempt to overthrow the will of the people. So do you want us to use Kentucky as an example and just is there going to be an investigation? They did the same thing in Georgia. They were calling people in Georgia, Arizona, Texas. So that's why people are freaking out.
Just to zone it in, we can use Kentucky as an example.
Let's do Kentucky and just see if there's going to be a federal audit or something.
Okay.
There's also something that Abrams did down in Georgia, is she started having classes on how to fill out a ballot. And that literally helped everybody in Georgia as well.
I believe it.
It's so it sounds
It's
so condescending, but I'm trying not to.
No, people do not know how to follow instructions. It's that simple.
And there's a lot of people who have never voted before, and they started this now voting. And if you've never filled out a ballot, and
there are people with learning disabilities, and things like
absolutely.
that. And some people do need help if you have dyslexia or. I think it's wonderful that we're helping people that need help. Because I have screwed up a ballot on more than one time. I get confused, I get jumbled, and I've had to get new stuff. So it can happen. So it's good that they're helping.
All you have to do is not fill in the circle all the way, and it's completely deleted. It's just nothing there.
That's their plan, right? I was stressed out doing my own. I looked at it like 10 times before I sent it in.
Right.
Because I was stressed out making sure that I had it right. And then finally, when they did get it, I got a text message back, because everybody here votes by mail. We got a text message back that it's good and it's valid and it was counted. So that's our system here in Colorado. I think that's the way it should be.
Right.
But I was stressed out still, just making sure that I read the instructions.
Oh yeah, you got to check that thing 14 times before you.
Yeah.
Well, I've done the same thing.
Okay. Yeah. So what is the question again?
Well, I was going to say, I agree with Bernie Sanders. We have to have a 50-state strategy, and we should not be conceding anything to the Republicans. And I want to see every damn vote, because I don't believe the vote. The fact that we were like, oh, we just, this is what drives Bernie Sanders crazy. Oh, we can't win in Kentucky. Why do we bother? Oh, we can't. It's like, damn, these people in Kentucky need our help, and we can make their lives better. And why do we constantly give up land to domestic terrorists and fascists? We have to fight in all 50 states. All right, now I'll go back to being funny. But I just
it's a passionate topic. I mean, it's hard to stay funny on this stuff.
It's this show a comedy show sometimes.
Yeah, it's hard. Okay, what was the question? What are we throwing cards on?
Whether or not there'll be any kind of federal investigation into these stolen elections, but specifically in Kentucky. We know there's audits going on in Georgia, etc. But what's going on in Kentucky?
Okay. And by the way, again, thanks, guys, for having us on.
We're having a blast. Thank you.
Yeah.
Great time.
I just got a big hit. You know all of the lawyers that Merrick Garland is hiring?
600.
Yep. They're not only going, when they talk about voter rights, they're also looking into the voter, like what happened in the election in each of those states as well.
One of my friends is a prosecuting attorney, and the feds are hiring in all 50 states because of this issue. And we were talking, and she's like, oh, I'm tired of my job working as a prosecutor and such and such. And I said, well, just go work for the feds. And then she opened it up because she was like, she opened up the US Gov. She's like, oh my God, what the hell did they do? Because it was just so many prosecutors. But Sharon, did you want to go first?
Yet?
Sure, I can go first. Of course, there's going to be a lot of arguing whether to do the investigation at all, but there will be a breakthrough. Yes, they're definitely going to do it. There's the ace. Sorry about the glare. The Ace of Swords, and they're going to look those votes over. And I think the King of Cups, and I see this as the Kentuckian voters, they're going to be very, very happy that this is going to happen, because there was definitely something with the votes where they were held, they were taken somewhere else. It's going to be a lot of work with the Eight of Pentacles, and but in the end, celebration. There's justice, there's the Knight, and they're going to get to the bottom of that corruption. And I've got lots of other cards, and they all indicate. I got a lot of swords, a lot of justice things, the Hierophant, the King of Swords, and so on. So, yep, they're going to do it. It's going to be hard work, though.
Oh my God! Wow.
I am piggybacking off of you with the hard work part, and I'll show you how in a second here. But I did get the Emperor, and I think this just represents the establishment. This is just the government. This is who will be under the microscope. Leading to the microscope, I got Prudence. In this deck, it's the Eight of Pentacles. Close attention will have to be paid to detail. It's going to take a lot of thorough documentation, figuring out the paper trail on the whole thing. It's going to take a lot of extra work. Big deal. I got worry. I think everybody involved in manipulating the system, they're very concerned. To the point of desperation. Again, I always think of desperation with all this stuff. I got the Tower. I do think something's going to go down, and I think there is going to be a Tower moment. I got the Chariot. I think I think things will move forward in a positive direction to get things resolved. And I got completion and abundance at the end. So yeah, I'm getting a positive outcome. It's going to take a lot of work, but I do think that something positive will come out of this.
Beautiful. Can I go first? Is that okay, Sheila? I'm so happy because I got a remote. I got a download. I did the quick technique. So here's what's going to happen. I'm so happy. What's happening is that it looks like Homeland Security and the feds are going to make it mandatory to have a uniform voting system in all 50 states. So you can't go off and do your own thing. You have Lady Justice coming in, the Queen of Swords. You have a partnership with the states. It feels to me when I get the download that what the Homeland Security, because this is a hacking issue, this is terrorism, and this is now signing into law President Biden that they are domestic terrorists. So everything going forward falls under the category of terrorism. So what the feds and Homeland Security are going to do is everything is going to be on the same exact grid. Everything's going to be federal security. So if somebody is hacking in Georgia, they'll know. Somebody's hacking in Kentucky. They are in complete control of all of the voting systems, all 50 states. It's all uniform. So that they have no power to come in and do or obstruct because of this uniform system. You can see the partnership coming in. The Nine of Pentacles. They'll pay for it. The feds are going to pay for it, and it results in the sun. We're not going to. This is a security issue, and for that reason, there's not going to be separate voting. It's all going to be mandatory, the same exact, because it's a federal election, and so the feds are going to argue that it's the property of the feds. The state can't look if you want to do whatever you want on a state level, but it's the same thing with why they took those Arizona votes when they did their rinky dink, and then they took them off to Kentucky or wherever. Now where is it, Ohio, or where the hell did they take the votes? And you can't just grab federal property and go and do a rinky dink dance. Those votes, those machines, everything is the property of the feds. And it just looks nice and uniform in the coming years. And it goes back to Merrick Garland and January 6th and viewing this as a terrorist attack.
Could I ask a question here? Why isn't it a uniform system? It is here in Canada. It always has been. It's always been federal election. It's all done the same way. It's run by the federal Elections Canada. So how did it get this way in the States?
It's the ultimate conversation about state rights versus federal rights. But the truth of the matter is the states have no argument because they lost that argument at the end of the Civil War. You cannot take away the rights of an American citizen because it's part of your religion, your belief, etc. That was the challenge of seating. Well, this is our belief, this is our culture. It doesn't matter. You don't get to use your culture to oppress someone else. And so for that reason, I think the feds are going to overrule it. That was the argument. Yeah. I don't think it's constitutional, though. I don't know. What do you think, Lisa? You're there.
I don't think it's constitutional either. I mean, I really don't. Yeah. It's really, sometimes if I think too hard about it, it's really difficult to wrap my head around the whole thing. There's a lot of red tape. And there are a lot of hoops that the government jumps through with stuff. And of course, like you point out, there's the citizens' rights and then the state rights, the federal rights. And it would make more sense to make things more uniform. But you know how we are sometimes as people. If we throw out uniformity too hard, it turns into the whole, well, you're not respecting our rights. So
you're making me do what everybody else is doing. Why?
Yes, Sheila, exactly. So that's a whole other thing. We need to focus more on doing the right thing and stop worrying about all the little mumbo jumbo behind it. If it's the right thing to just make it across the board and make it fair, I'm on board. Sign me up. Absolutely. I don't see anything wrong with that. I don't think that's being held under someone's thumb. It makes it fair. It makes it uniform.
Well, that was Obama's argument because Obama taught constitutional law, and his argument about wanting to uniform voting in the states, that was exactly the argument, because what they're doing with these state laws are the whole function of the state laws. Now, also with the votes that are happening in Congress, is about suppressing the vote. I'm curious about what you got, Sheila. Did you get anything interesting?
Well, I did get something interesting, and it kind of makes a little sense. I have the Ace of Pentacles, which just talks about new job and security and opportunity in this thing. So the opportunity is the hard choices. I got the hard choices when, the self-discipline, and for all of the votes to be taken care of. So the self-discipline, that's what the biggest problem is we don't want an outlier anymore. We don't want somebody over here going rogue. We need everything to come together. I see the fighting about it, though. I mean, this is going to be a hard road to hoe. It's truly going to be. So we also have the Page of Swords. So it's the new idea, the Page of Swords, the new idea coming in. And it's brilliant, I think, Whimsy, that you picked up on the new idea. I mean, absolutely brilliant. Once you said that they're going to start uniform, everything in my cards just clicked right into exactly that the new idea is, let's get this all on board. Because I also got the labyrinth. The labyrinth on that was the labyrinth, a closely, a glimpse but seldom found. So what's going on is, when they go into all of these votes, it's seldom found the cheating. And they're having a problem finding the actual cheating that's being done. So seldomly found. And if it's uniform, then uniformly we're going to see the cheating as well, because they can't hide it anymore. So I also got the Wheel of Fortune going forward. There's the Six of Pentacles, the clarity. The Knight of Swords, where it's talking about the government and the intelligent powers that we do have in the government. We also got the Six of Wands, all of it. And then the last ones is what was really kind of interesting to me. We have the King of Cups, which always represents Biden and the Democrats.
Yeah.
Going dormant. It has the Hierophant, like what has been in the past will no longer exist, because we're going to become happier at voting.
Yeah.
We're all going to be, okay, this is good stuff. Finally, our voting system is going to be back on track.
It's like you go into it feeling a certain kind of way. Yeah.
Absolutely. Feeling it's going to be fair.
Yeah.
So, yeah, exactly. We're going to have more confidence in our voting system, and it is due to the new idea.
It's
Absolutely.
the new idea. It's the lawsuit that's there are lawsuits against Newsmax. There's lawsuits against Fox. The feds have a lot of power here. Homeland Security has a lot of power, and a lot more power now that Biden is calling them terrorists. And so the feds can come in and deal with that. We have a ton more questions about the filibuster. I don't know if people want to continue to work on that. Manchin's was saying he's going to work with the Democrats to deal with the issue of voter rights. We also have concerns about the fact that Biden is trying to allocate money to the states for infrastructure, but he's had to break it into separate bills. He doesn't want to use executive order because he doesn't feel like it'll stick. If a Republican gets in, they can throw them all out. Do you feel, I guess this is the question the person is asking, do we feel that these bills that they're trying to get in, whether it's the voter rights, protecting voters' rights, or the infrastructure bill, are we going to continue to see obstruction, or are we going to get more cooperation in Congress? And what's the problem with Manchin? I mean, is he going to help us or hurt us?
I have a feeling that what was that? Did anybody hear that? No, I'm hearing things. Okay, so I have a feeling it's the way Sheila's life goes. I have a feeling that he's coming around. I really do. I feel like he's kind of like caving under the pressure, to be honest with you. But I also wanted to give thanks to Marie Hansen for her donation in her chat. She says Texas Dems walked out to stop the voter bill here. We already knew that, but thank you. And then also Pamela, Pamela Doss, she also gave us a chat, so I just wanted to say thank you,
Pamela.
Yep.
Thank you to everyone who donated. We sometimes get wrapped up in our stuff and we forget to give gratitude. But so, people are concerned about Manchin and Sinema and about these filibusters. So do we want to first look at Manchin?
Yeah, let's look at Manchin.
questions today.
Oh, absolutely. Somebody in the chat says, you aren't hearing Bede. She goes, you aren't hearing things, Sheila. I heard it too.
You're not alone, girl.
Well, it's funny how my crazy voices goes to everybody else starts to hearing them. Did we turn left at the unicorn or right?
We
at
just
the,
heard. We just
We're
heard.
starting. Yeah, I heard
It
it
was only a
too.
matter of time.
I did hear it.
What
Okay.
did you guys hear?
Now, did Whimsy hear it?
Feedback voice.
I heard it. I did hear it. Yeah.
Okay.
Whimsy didn't hear it. Oh, that's because the three of us are Celtic, so we heard it. It was the fairies.
Oh, there it is.
Oh, there you
There's
go.
the fairies.
Thank you,
Darn
Julia.
fairies.
All right, who wants to go first on this one?
Whimsy, if you got your cards, go for it.
I'll go first. I mean, basically, the pressure when you go into the remote, when you connect with it, and when you connect with the target and you go into the remote, I feel like people want jobs and they want, let's see if we can work this system so that we're getting a good deal for West Virginia. You have him being in a strong position. You have him wanting to construct something. This is also labor. This is also a labor card. You have Ace of Wands, which is new entrepreneurship, probably for West Virginia. And then the final outcome is construction, construction, construction. Three of Pentacles. All he wants is work and new enterprise. These are all work cards. Look at this. It's all work. It's all work. Work, contract, construction, real estate. He wants the contracts for his real estate. For West Virginia, I got to hand it to him, though. He is fighting for them, and that's good. The way to get you what you want from Manchin is to give him some of the green contracts, and that's what's going to happen. Because what you feel when you go into that energy is that his constituents are saying, why are you arguing with them? We'll help create fuel cells. We can do that. Bring us the jobs. Because we all know those are the only jobs that are going to be left.
Just
green economy.
Just
So that's
to kind of piggyback off of you, I got the Hierophant and the Lovers. In this case, the Lovers, I'm thinking about the whole contractual thing that you're throwing out there. But I got something interesting. I got in this deck, it's it's the Knight of Swords, but it's called the Game Master. And I think somebody's really kind of maybe in his ear and kind of guiding him along whatever it is that he's wanting to do with all of this. I think that's really an important card. I have a couple of other ones, but I'm kind of hanging on to this one. I think there's something important behind that. I think he's getting some guidance that's going along with whatever it is that he's choosing to do and say, involving all that.
Okay. Are you done, Lisa?
Yeah, I'm done.
Okay. All right. Yeah, it's going to be Manchin. He's going to continue blocking things, but I think he will see the way if, as you said, Whimsy, if the Dems give him those jobs. Now, here's the Hermit in reverse, and I think he'll stop working on his own. I think he will come out and stop being the lone cowboy, and start. If you give me this, I'll give you that. And you're right, the Empress. He is trying to get jobs for his state. He's looking after his state. He wants them to go to smoother waters because they're really hurting financially. So if he gets what he wants, then he'll start cooperating. And the energy of the reading, the bottom of the deck, was the Hierophant upside down. He's been bucking the Dems. But I think he will come round.
But
it means those jobs.
I actually picked up on also this Three of Cups, where it talks about the healing and the creativity and the rewards, and then the Ace of Wands, which is that new in cycle, that expanding the potential. So I think that also kind of coincides with what you guys were talking about. He wants a lot for his state. This also, but the Justice and the Temperance kind of showed up. He's going through it. People are after him. They're talking to him because Temperance are here. Like you need to. You don't understand what you're doing. This is, we put you in power. We put the Democrats in power. They need to go with the Democratic thinking and all of the stuff that we want and done. So here's the one thing. I got the poverty and then I got the judgment. So I'm thinking, they're going to start hammering about your money somehow. Somehow, some way, you're invested somewhere that you need to get out of or something like that, because the judgment is coming. I thought that to be really weird, because going forward, that is the high priestess, where it talks about the subconscious, the feeling, accepting life, and the science and the wisdom. So he kind of comes around, and then his agenda kind of is the Four of Swords, where it gets dealt with. It's like, you know what? All right, I'll go with what they're doing, and I'll deal with the consequences later. And it's really kind of weird. I think going into his energy, he's exhausted. And he's going into his energy. He feels. I'm trying to pinpoint the exact word, like beat down, but I don't know if that's the right
Like, is it a brick wall?
I know.
Yeah.
I feel this weight on my shoulders. That's what this is about. I just feel that weight.
Yeah, there's something different about him. He's not playing. He's just like Tony Barrett. She's not playing the right. He's not playing the right tunes either.
Exactly.
And he's starting to feel the weight of that type of decisions, and that sometimes, every once in a while, when you go into his energy, he really, truly, truly, truly wants the Republicans to heal and do what they're supposed to be doing. I mean, he really has this illogical idea that these people are really going to come up. They're really going to fix themselves. They're really going to showing up.
His intentions are good.
Yeah, it's like he really deep down and wants what he's been doing in Congress prior to 45 or whatever. He really thinks that it's going to come around and he's going to be as happy, but he's realizing that it's not gonna.
Yeah,
I think that's what the feel is.
And Whimsy, right. I'm looking at this Six of Wands card again. And of course, look at all the greenery. I'm just drawn to all the greenery on those wands and the green wreath. The green jobs. So it's pretty clear what he's trying to do.
Yep. So, all right.
Yep.
What do we got?
Oh, Whimsy,
you're muted, maybe.
I'm sorry. So we have one more political question, and then I guess we'll move on to celebrity hot topics. But the question comes from Julie McNeely. Hi, Julie, and thanks for the question. She says, I'm wondering about Mike Pompeo, the State Department. Where is he hiding? What was he hiding? So basically, to look inside what did they find in the State Department? What's the story with Mike Pompeo? That is the last political question.
all right.
All right. So the question is, what was the question again? Sorry.
What was going on in the State Department, and what's going on with Mike Pompeo, and where is he? And if we could just go in, maybe do a remote or a blitz to try and find out what they found when they went into the State Department, and what we can find out about Mike Pompeo. Is he under investigation? What's going on there? What did they find?
My first three images that Spirit gave me was a desert, a tumbleweed, and dust devils. Like, he didn't do crap.
No.
He didn't work and do nothing.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, we're done with that question.
Sheila,
Sheila
I
just
think
solved it.
Sheila, I think you got an image of what was going on inside his brain.
Yes. Whoever is laid down first, go for it. Looks like Whimsy, you are the one.
All right, let me do it. He put himself in a bad situation. It's interesting that you said he didn't do anything. He seems to be outside of his depth. He doesn't know what's happening. It's kind of like the confused person that takes a rope. Here, take the rope and go and help people with this rope. And he takes the rope and he chews on an end of it and wraps the other part around. What am I supposed to do with the rope?
That's funny.
Well, we do know he'll eat anything.
Yeah.
Oh,
So here's the feds.
What do you mean? No, I'm just kidding.
Well, I agree with Lisa. I also do Emperor as the authority, and then the Star, which is an annoying thing. But look at this conflict, 5 of Wands. You know, the worst part of all of this is you go into the different departments, whether it's, America's relationship with France, America's relationship with the Tongo, and you find some guy in there with an office, and you say, "What have you been doing?" And the person's just like fighting, confused, and chewing on the rope you gave me.
Yes. Did you guys ever see the movie Office Space?
Yes, I love that.
You know the guy that was still on payroll forever? They always talked about his stapler.
I don't like you taking my stapler.
Yes, that's him. My stapler. Go touch my stapler. That's totally him. Yeah, I mean, I
don't want to be down here in this basement.
Exactly. The forgotten employee. Yeah, I just threw a couple of cards on this because I think we're all on the same wave like this. I did get the dancer. I got, which is in this deck, it's the Princess of Wands. And I think it's just, I think he has just been going through the motions, performing, just kind of going with the flow. He's just there, I don't know. But I also got the Magician. I got the Prince of Cups, which is the equivalent of the filmmaker. And I just think he's just used a lot of creativity to kind of coast along. It's just he's just kind of a no-purpose guy. He's the stapler guy. I mean, I really don't have a whole lot on him. Sharon, you got anything? I mean, seriously, the rest is just garbage. I don't have any good cards at all. I really don't.
He's the stapler guy.
He's the stapler guy. My stapler.
That's funny.
Well, here he is giving out all the ropes to the employees. Here, you can have a rope. You can have a rope.
And you get a rope. And you get a rope.
And really, he just sat there. I'm the emperor. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do, but I'm sitting in my chair that says I'm the. We would call it minister of state. So I do know it. I'm just going blank. What do you call him? The State
Department.
The State Department. Yeah. Okay. The Empress.
Secretary of State. He's called Secretary.
Secretary of State. Thank you. I knew that. I just went blank. Okay. The Emperor. And then there's the Empress. And I feel he's just, he's the baby there. Here, this is him. He doesn't know what he's doing.
Yeah, well.
He's pretending to defend the U.S., but it's all a sham. And, of course, truth. His message was never the truth. It's upside down. It was all lies. And, but boy, did he defend his position if he felt threatened. And he certainly was not the magician. He didn't make things happen. And then I think now he's just, I don't know where he is. He's hiding. The hermit. And
he's in the basement. I'm telling you.
Yeah, he's in the basement. And as the energy of the reading, the bottom card, the Two of Cups, he wasn't very good at relationships at all. He was the worst guy to be in the State Department. So that's what I've got. But yeah, he's hiding. He's hiding somewhere.
Oh yeah, I I actually got the moon and the Seven of Swords right off the bat. That fear, like, what am I supposed to be doing here? What is my job? Nobody's telling me what I'm supposed to be doing. I don't know what. How do you do that? You know, like he's like stealing time from the government because he's not doing anything. And I felt that actually when he was in there. But we also have the Ace of Swords, that mental clarity. He's trying to get that, but he's in chaos. He never got it. He never got what's going on. So he also has, but he loves Trump. I got the happy, the Three of Cups. Everybody loves him. I love Trump. I'm just there. He loves Trump. If I just, I love you, Trump. I love you, Trump. He's going to stay. That's all he needed to do. He figured out his job. I love you. I love you. That's how I figured it out. Because he had the Queen of Wands, that political, but that political hermit. So the outcome of what he's doing is politically, he's going dormant, like she said, like a hermit. He's not going to be able to get a job anywhere.
Do you see charges?
Charges? I don't see charges. I haven't seen charges on him yet. But of course, we haven't seen 45 charges until now either. No. So we got to wait for it to.
Do you ladies think he will share any pertinent information at any point?
Share? I don't think he can retain any pertinent information.
No. I mean, the Emperor here, I agree. So the Emperor here, he's asking these birds, okay, what am I supposed to do now?
Right.
And then the lion, I wish you could see the expression of the lion's face. The lion's face is going, are you kidding me?
He's that guy sitting.
I don't know if you can see. Look at the lion.
Are you kidding me?
Are you kidding me?
The lion's over it. Completely over it.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful having you ladies here. I don't think I've laughed so much in a long, long time.
Oh, so we're not even warmed up, Whimsy.
No.
Oh, you want us to be on for another hour?
Sheila knows. We're on our best behavior.
Well, the producers and the publicists that give us advice for the show, and people know we're trying to get the show syndicated. They say, isn't this show supposed to be a comedy? Because sometimes Sheila and I take ourselves so too seriously. So it's nice to be reminded. So the hot topic today, the celebrity hot topic, I think it's a lovely one. And I got this email from somebody, so I wanted to just make this the hot topic. Kate Middleton is back in the news. The beautiful Kate Middleton, the future queen of Great Britain. She has launched a royal foundation. Is this not beautiful? And the royal foundation is called the Foundation for Early Childhood Development. She says that she is committed to creating a healthy childhood with healthy childhood development, focusing on the first years of life, ages 1 through 5, which is exactly what Harry and Meghan were going to be doing. If you go back to the remotes from 2 years ago, when I went into the energy of Harry, I said, oh, he's going to be involved in early childhood development.
I remember that. I remember you saying that.
So people caught it, and I was asked if we could today talk about this, and if we feel that this is a sign that Harry and Meghan are going to be working with her because they share this. They both married, her and Meghan, men who had been deeply traumatized in childhood, and so they're both called to help. Is this signaling the beginning of a softening of the relationship between Harry, Meghan, and Kate and William? And if we could please throw on it, will they be working together on this mission?
I just have to say that yesterday I saw the clip with Dr. Biden and Kate Middleton, and they were talking about that foundation. I was so happy because I'm a retired teacher, retired 2 years ago, and the 0 to 5 years is so important. Mm-hmm. And I'm just so happy they're doing that. I wish we would spend more here.
I was a teacher for 2 years, so
there you go.
Yeah, early development's no joke.
Oh, it's so important. So important.
I do kind of want to say before we throw cards on this,
We have a
I
question on the table.
well, I intuitively have never really felt like the brothers were in that big of a fight. I almost think the media is just
No,
kind of
I think
throwing
it was
that
all
out
the
there.
press.
I mean, they're brothers. They've been through so much stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I just
Yeah.
don't really think that
Yeah.
bond can be broken. Yeah, they're gonna fight over stuff. I mean,
Well,
duh.
well, I
But,
did.
No, it's the tabloids.
I did get to be a fly on the wall,
Okay.
and the fly on the wall was that I don't know if you spent any time in London or Britain, but they have extremely posh pubs that only the aristocrats go into that are, West London, $20 for a pint, whatever.
Mhm.
So this is the kind of environment that William grew up with, hanging out with his buddies. So they have a couple of pints and they crack a couple of jokes like, "Oh, what color's your nephew gonna be?" Ha 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 ha. So it felt to me like, excuse me, William went and told Harry, "You know what they're saying in the pub?"
Just off the cuff stuff.
Yes. So Harry's response was, "You're now in a position of power where you can actually do something about this. You see what they're doing to my wife. You see what's happening. Do something. Do something." And he didn't do anything. Well, Trump's in office right now. It's a very delicate situation. We're not allowed to it's not politics. This is racism. So that was the beginning of the rift. And now I think under this new administration with Biden, we're seeing the rift. They're trying to correct the damage. They fired a ton of people that were working for the institution that were, and also evidently a lot of people in human resources got fired. The good news about this is that under Trump, they were able to see who the real racists were that were working for their human resources, et cetera. And they got rid of a lot of people. And it was actually William, according to what I've read from The Garden, et cetera. It was William that went in and started cleaning house.
Nice.
Which is good. So he finally stepped up to the plate and did what his brother asked him to do.
Good deal.
Yeah. Sheila, do you have any feedback about it?
I don't. The only feedback that I got is, I know I mentioned this before when I was doing a reading prior to doing a reading on the royals the next day. It was like Princess Diana kind of gave me the essence, and it was like a speaking thing. Like she came to me and she's like, my boys are not fighting like the tabloids say. They are fine. They are good to go. So I also had that feeling. Now, I also have with Kate Middleton doing this thing, she's really noticing how years, like when you're born all the way up to 5, that is the most formative years. Either you teach them racism or you teach them equality. And I think this is how she's getting in. I think this is how she's going to start teaching other parents, like this is going to be how we do it, because it's coming from Kate Middleton, on how to rear children with emotional intelligence, with equality, and start removing it. So I think she's really, I think this is her passion, but I think she has also a wonderful, fantastic way in to start fixing the systemic racism and judgments and stuff like that. Where do you start the most? With your children, with the children.
Yeah.
Amen.
That was my feeling on that whole thing. Is like she has a bigger, higher calling right now. Just like with Princess Diana, she had a bigger. I'm gonna cry.
Yeah.
Wow, Diana, stop.
Yeah.
But she
she's
can feel
such
that
an influence.
energy
Oh,
of her
such,
mother-in-law.
Good woman.
Yeah. That
Well,
she knows that she has this higher calling.
Yeah.
Wow, come on. I'm live. Do I have to always cry on live?
I think that Harry and Diana were a lot alike, and I think they both had taste.
Yes.
Same kind of lovers.
Yes.
Kind, tall, dark, and good looking.
Thank goodness he didn't come out looking like his father.
Oh God. Yes.
The irony is everybody said Harry's not really his kid. The older Harry gets, the more, I'm sorry to say, Harry, but the older you get, the more you start to look like young Charles.
Yeah.
Oh yes. Yes.
No.
And also, I think he looks.
Boys have done that over time. They both are morphing into Charles.
Yes.
Yes. I think they've got. I can see Philip in him too.
Yes.
Yes.
Quite a bit.
Harry looks a lot like Philip. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely.
A lot.
I
Very
just
much.
wanted to get back to the preschoolers. My ex-wife is a preschool teacher, and she they're kids that young, they're smart. They will learn what you teach them.
Yep.
She taught them conflict resolution skills.
Oh, perfect.
Oh, it was amazing how I would go in there and watch, and they use the right words. She always encouraged them to use their words. And anyways, they were
Brilliant.
amazing.
That's what we need. That's what
Yeah.
those are the quiet warriors.
Yeah.
In this world,
Yeah.
that we definitely need so many more that gets into those classrooms and knows that get that empathy and that emotional intelligence. Like, this is where it's at. This is where we stop this.
And you know what's
Exactly.
cool? When I was a preschool teacher, I noticed that a lot of what I would teach there, they took that stuff home.
Yes,
so
they
even
did.
depending
Yes.
upon whatever the home environment was,
Yeah.
In a lucky situation, a lot of that energy, they would take that stuff home, and I would actually see the parents
Absolutely.
change.
Oh, I got
Absolutely.
such
Yes.
good cards. I've got such good cards. The question was,
Okay, what was the question exactly?
the question was, is this mark the beginning of more of a public relationship between the two couples, and also signaling unity? Would they work together? They pulled double aces. A new venture together. Ace of Pentacles are going to help a lot of people. There's a tower coming, though, because there are a lot of people that are Tories, institutional racists, that are not going to take kindly to this. But there are people loyal to Harry and William that are going to stand by them. You have a nice King of Swords coming in. They're going to do some amazing work together.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's gonna take her job serious. And
Not like Mike Pompeo, right?
not like Mark Pompeo. I still think that he probably left 4 years later, and somebody asked him, "What was your job title?" He'd be like, "I don't know."
What? Huh?
I was the rope. I was the rope chewer, I think.
Yeah. Therefore.
I just handed out ropes. I just did what I was told.
Exactly.
Okay, I'll just show you a couple of cards that I have on this. I got the Seven of Materials, which is the equivalent of the Seven of Pentacles, and it's just planting those seeds. It's setting the pace on what needs to be done, and the growth and the prosperity and the love and all of that. I mean, that's going to pass on. I got the Two of Inspiration. That's like the Two of Wands. And that's the foresight of it all. We're looking toward the future here. These kids, they're going to be adults one day. It's a big deal. I feel like things are starting kind of fresh, and that's one of the steps to do so. And one of the last ones I got is the Queen of Inspiration, which is like the Queen of Wands. Well, and I got the Queen of Emotions too. Queen of Cups. I'll put these both together. I think all of this kind of piggybacks off of the Diana influence. I'm sorry, guys. I got to hang on to Diana with a lot of this. I think her influence has really trickled down with a lot of what's going on with this. That her boys are passing things on. They've married women who are willing to pass these things on. And I do think that this will bring the family together to some extent. I think that's really important. It's like a double whammy. It's going to help generations of future kids, and it's going to help the family too.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I'll go ahead and go share, and then you can have yours. I have a Nine of Wands. It is the defend the territory, courage under fire. That's her power. That's her within. Courage under fire. And then it has the Judgment, which is this spiritual awakening, change, the spiritual awakening she is after for her country and for her people. And then we have the Ten of Pentacles, where it comes down to family ties and inheritance, and she wants to leave this world with something really, not just go out there and smile. She really knows what her job is. She really knows the influence. So she's really looking forward to getting this done. So this is a fantastic history, establishment, and tradition. She's there. She is so on this. There's one thing about I forget her husband's name at this point in time, but I knew the moment that they announced that they were getting married, I said to myself, it's like, "Ooh, honey, you've picked a good one." I knew it. The moment he said her name, I was like, you have picked a good one. So, all righty, go for it, Sharon.
All right. Okay, they're really devoted to doing this. This is the Knight of Swords. They're going after this, and they're going to do such good work. So that's the energy of this reading. They're going to reach across the pond. And as you said, they never were, all that stuff was, the tabloids and stuff like that. They just like to throw that kind of stuff out there. And also people thrive on people fighting, you want conflict. It's boring if people are getting along. It doesn't sell newspapers. But they're greatly influenced by Diana. Greatly influenced. And here's the Ace of Swords. So there's a yes. And they're in real contact with their mom. Maybe they don't know it, but they are. And I think the brothers, they're on solid ground. They're holding their own. And through this work, I think they're going to raise everybody's vibration, like raising the importance of children. For example, preschool workers, well, I bet you weren't paid that much, Lisa, when you were a preschool teacher.
No.
No.
I use a lot of my own money for supplies.
Exactly. Like it's so silly that the people that have our children, those most formative years, are paid so poorly and treated so badly. And again, I believe all that rift was simply the tabloids. But Nine of Pentacles, it's going to be really gratifying work for them. It's really going to bring them close together. And you're right. Those two men are traumatized. Here's the Seven of Swords and the Two of Swords. Their mother was taken from them, and they've got a lot of hurt that they deal with. But through this work with children, they're going to create something really wonderful together. Here she's pregnant with, this is the earth here, but they're going to do such wonderful work for children, and they're doing it together, which is great. There's going to be big changes. And I got another ace, the Ace of Wands. They're definitely going to do this, and they're going to work together. I mean, these are such great cards. Great cards.
Beautiful.
Absolutely. I'm so excited about this, to be honest with you.
Oh, I am too.
All right, guys. I would love to stay here for another 3 hours. However,
wait, we're not hanging out some more?
Hey, come on.
No cocktails, nothing?
I was going to make
come on.
Wait, no, we got an email that said possible cocktails. Did we?
Where's the bourbon?
Did we? Didn't the email say that?
And 15-year-old scotch for me. I'm sorry.
Gosh.
That's what I drink.
Ladies,
That's
come
it.
on.
That's the rumor. Yeah, Sheila on the remote control. She on the remote. She got the nasty women drunk. That's the rumor from here on out.
Well, I think that Sheila wanted us to end with something good, and I think we did, and I'm grateful for that.
So,
What do you mean a cocktail's good?
And yes. So here's the thing with Whimsy and I. Whimsy and I have separate, like we have these tasks that we take on to make everything cohesive and work. And one of the tasks that has been kind of mine the whole time has been the question at the end. And I wanted to leave really on a high note. And I also want to kind of hopefully kind of lob this into our new season, also incorporate it. But I want to hear something good. It can be either something from you or from the tabloids or whatever it is. It's like, let's hear something good. And so whoever wants to, like Sharon, why don't you go ahead and go first, and we'll have Lisa, Whimsy, and then I'll go ahead and then we'll close it out. So go ahead, Sharon.
Well, at the risk of getting really mushy here, I have to say one of the silver linings of COVID is the fact that I got myself some cards and started watching you guys. And the biggest thing was meeting Lisa. It wouldn't have happened without COVID.
Aww.
And we are just we're so close. I don't think we could be closer, and yet we haven't met each other in the flesh. I don't think it matters, but we're very, very close, and we love each other, and we're such a good team. And I can't imagine my life without her now.
Oh, sweet.
Thank you, Sharon.
Well, it's true. I'm telling the truth. I just love this woman, and I'm not hitting on her. I'm not hating on her. I just love her.
We're not dating.
No, we're not dating.
I love you too, Sharon. I do. Thank you so much. It's very
Love
sweet.
you.
That means a lot. I feel
Yeah,
the same.
Lisa's trying to find her fireman. Yeah,
Whoever. I'm open. Whatever. Was that all you were gonna say?
Yep.
About me? I'm just kidding.
Oh. And by the way,
No.
her mom visits me regularly, and so does her dad. It's so cool.
Yeah. My parents like to hang out with Sharon. My feel good story is not really a long story. It's not really so much a specific case, but I've noticed when I've gone out and about, it's not like in my town things have been real caustic and rowdy or anything like that. But I've noticed that now everybody's been in hibernation, and now they're coming out, and we're all seeing each other. All of us strangers are talking. Everybody's talking more. I've exchanged phone numbers of people I've never met before, just striking up conversation. The city has changed. It's like a rebirth. It's like a reset. Everybody's appreciating each other more, helping each other out, and providing support. And like I said, just going through the grocery store. I mean, what I think will be a 10-minute trip, it takes me about an hour to get out because everybody's just chatting it up.
And that's in a big city. That's in a big city.
And
Louisville.
that's in a big city. I'm telling you guys, as much as we talk about, all of the residual 45 garbage, but we are really moving forward. And I feel good about it.
I hope we don't lose
really
it.
Good about it. I think this is the beginning of something really big, and I'm on board. So I'm here for it. I think it's great. So that's my story.
Well, my something good was kind of what I wanted us to close it with today, which was the story about Harry and Diana. And I think the reason why I wanted that to be the feel good story is because something so horrific and tragic happened. A woman in her 30s died a horrible death while people did nothing to help. I mean, the trauma, the pain for this family that was on public display, and how the one thing I truly love about humanity is we can always take our pain and lift it up and create something beautiful from it and choose to make the world a better place. Not that the pain happened for a reason, but that we can choose when bad things happen to us, because human beings have choice. From this pain, I will create something beautiful, and I will help alleviate suffering in others. And I really loved that we could close on that note today with that wonderful story from what the Royals are up to.
Not only close this episode, but close this season on that great note.
Yes, absolutely. Well, mine kind of caught me. Mine's something good. I was scrolling through, and it kind of got me thinking about all the things that we can connect with, right? So here's this one. It says, a bittersweet wedding story, a decade in the making. Nearly 10 years after Ginny's stepfather was killed, the man who received her father's donated heart traveled from New Jersey to Pennsylvania to walk her down the aisle. She was able stop.
Oh no!
I know.
Oh my God!
Her father. I know. To still have her father. Walk her down, because her father was murdered.
Oh my God!
And taken from her. And she, that one moment when a daughter says, "I will never have my father walk me down the aisle." And then he was a donor. And the man that had his heart. So she not only got a part of her father to walk her down, she got his heart, the part that loved her, right? the part that loved her. So that's
When
my
was
feel good.
this? When was this? When was this?
I don't know when this was. September 2006.
Wow.
September, the story began.
Beautiful story.
Yeah. So that was one of my feel good stories that has stuck with me for a while. How things in this world just always work out exactly the way it's supposed to.
That's
And
right.
if we're looking for the signs, if we are there present in the moment, Spirit is always for us and never against us. And
Absolutely.
they will always provide a avenue. God makes good stuff out of the yucky stuff, and we are experiencing it right now.
Absolutely.
After COVID, God has made good stuff out of the yucky stuff. And you can call it spirit, whatever. So we just want to make sure that everybody leaves the remote today knowing that let's look for the good stuff in life right now and to bring more about that, because the more you look for the good stuff, the more we're going to get it. That's how how attraction works.
Mhm.
So yeah.
So Sheila, not to end with, but can we give people some practical information? This is the end of season 1. I hope everybody enjoyed it. We're learning. Hopefully, we'll be better next time. When is season 2?
We will.
When is season 2?
Season one's been fantastic.
Oh yeah, I've
So,
watched every episode.
Oh, thank you. We worked hard at it. This is the first one. Every first season works out its kinks. That's just the reality of it.
Absolutely.
And next we're hoping to start everything back up in September, bigger, brighter, with even a better
Can we come back? Can we come back?
Of course.
Oh,
So Whimsy and I were thinking maybe in between we might do a specialty where we have all the people, that like a catch up.
We're thinking of doing some night shows.
Yeah,
Cool.
some
let us
specialty
know,
things.
man. We love you guys.
Oh, we love you guys. Yeah.
So we have bigger and better things to dream about. And here's the thing about that is Whimsy and I are big dreamers. We know the force of just dreaming forward. She keeps me on track. She tells me about her dreams, and I go, yep. We just to continue on, and she
Make it happen.
Exactly.
Yes.
We're big dreamers.
And we did. We made it happen. Look,
Yep.
Sure did.
Yeah. So absolutely, you guys are come back on, and
I just have to say that the energy I feel in my heart right now, that we've got 2 pairs of BFFs, it's amazing.
yes,
Absolutely amazing.
absolutely. Whimsy and I have literally lived parallel lives without even knowing it.
Yeah, exactly.
So we came from the same mold, and thank goodness she's an Aries, because I'll diverge.
So we've got Whimsy,
fire, honey.
so Whimsy's an Aries and Sheila is a Gemini.
Yes.
And you're a Libra.
Air.
I'm a Libra and Sharon is a Pisces.
I'm a Pisces, yeah. But I've got
Yeah,
Gemini in my Venus. I'll have to look.
I have to go to the doctor. I have some Gemini on my Venus.
That's something I would say.
could you remove that? I need an adjustment, please.
I need to get something.
She stole the line right out of my mouth.
And I used to tease Whimsy and say everybody needs a pet Gemini.
What?
That's right.
All right, everybody. If you haven't had a chance yet to do so, be sure and share, like, subscribe, because I guess you're gonna take us out, Sheila.
Yep, let's go ahead and everybody smiles. Wonderful. This is the last picture of the day. And thanks everybody in the chat for showing up and supporting us. Oh my gosh, they're dedicators, man. And thank you. We appreciate that.
We're very much grateful. Thank you.
Yes.
Alrighty, here we go. Smile.